Success demand mastery of the fundamentals. With that thought, what precisely I want to say here are following stuff. As you can clearly see from the screen, that we have several things to discuss when it's come to the fundamental and the mastery. One of the major aspects we have there are the workflows, then is basically the documentation, and the rest of the thing is actually FYI for you when it comes to okay, how many number of integration officially we have available from n8n. When it's come to the feature, how many number of feature we have it available, and that's the most important aspect which we have to put into the consideration. One major aspect we also have there, recently n8n officially have launched a major, let's say, a big fantastic feature when it's come to the documentation and having the conversation with an AI with their documentation. That's a huge game changer. And let's go one by one. As you can clearly see from the screen, by the way, these numbers are not up to date, and I'll showcase you exactly what do I mean by that. If I click on the integration part of it and land on this specific page, you can clearly see that the integration are not how many 1121, rather 1158, meaning the numbers have changed in a month. And when it's come to the workflows, how many official workflows we do have it available in the official, let's say, library, 5828, around about 6,000. And as you can clearly see that these are the numbers over the month have accumulated. That's a huge thing. Just think for a second. Now, when it's come to the automation feature there, what kind of feature n8n is officially offering, you can definitely have a quick glance. When it's come to the feature part of it, you will find a lot of stuff anyway here. But what I precisely want to focus on is the official documentation, because I want you to know how to hunt a fish by the end of the day, then you will not die hungry. With that thought, let's have a quick FYI read on this documentation. Once you will click on that specific docs.n8n.io URL, you will be landing precisely here. With this URL, what you can clearly see that the documentation using n8n as an FYI. When it's come to that part, then you will have the quick start. You can click on the try out section part of it, and the most important part which I want to clarify, or let's say showcase here, is this one, the chat with the documentation. I'm lazy, you might be as well, I don't know, but on the other part of it, if I'm having a quick analysis on one of the aspect and I'm not certain how do I be proceeding with that, let's assume for a second I want to build a workflow where the Google authentication is required. I'm not sure how to actually authenticate myself with Google, how I can do that. Let's talk with the AI. I do have a tool installed, Super Whisper. I'll be naming it as well. So I'm just talking now. So asking n8n as a documentational part of it. As you can clearly see that you will see the text. Now, I actually need to know how I can authenticate myself with the Google official, let's say, documentation, and I want to authenticate my Google account using, I don't know how, just guide me. And this way, just the way you are thinking, you are asking the AI as well. Let's see what kind of documentation you will be getting by the end of the day. You can clearly see that you don't need to be a master to learn the basic. You just have to be curious to know how you can put the stuff as the next step and the next step and the next step, and you will find your way anyway. With that thought, I will be definitely finishing up this video. The major reason and the stuff I wanted to have it here as an emphasis there, you need to know how to have the fundamental clear, how to talk with the documentation, because you will be going through a lot of the stuff there, and you will be following the documentation when it's come to the aspect, okay, how I can do that, how I can do this, and all that part of it. And having that thought, what you need to be doing afterwards and afterwards and afterwards, as the next, what you can do, keep talking and keep asking. I'll be asking one more time just for you as an FYI, and you will be experiencing how amazing and quick that could become when it's come to the reading with the documentation. I'm not certain how to actually configure my Reddit application. Can you figure it out? I mean, I have a lot of grammatical mistakes. Having said that apart, let's see what kind of answer we'll be getting. You see the magic? That's exactly what I'm trying to say here. Once you will be building your workflows there, you will be needing a lot of know-how. and how you can actually talk with that. Instead of talking with the chat GPT and having the vague answers, you can directly chat with their official documentation, and by the end of the day you will have everything you need to know. With that thought, see you on the next one.